Hello everybody, Helcrex here, just doing a little bit of update for the channel to let you know that this Thursday night at 9 Central Standard Time or 9 Chicago time, we got the Musty Wargamers show going to be happening on my channel. So if you want to stop in and say hi, we got a couple topics related to game campaigns and making battle reports, kind of video stuff that goes on behind the scenes, kind of work you go through. So those are a couple topics. It should be up listed. So if you see it on my channel, you'll see what the topics are. All right, so that will be 9 Central Standard Time, 8 Mountain, or 10 Eastern. So 10 New York time, 9 Chicago time, or 8 Denver / Calgary time. So, or 7 or no, it's not Mountain, but what is the West? Pacific time. I think that's it. So there you go. So I hope you guys will stop in and say hello. All right, so I've been working slowly on the continuation of my 15 mil American Civil War models. Here you got, who was it? There's 75 stands sitting here, plus a leader. Well, that's just the next batch of models that I've been working on. I have a base coat on here of, put a black on, and I put a dark blue is my undercoat over the black, so you get kind of showing all the highlights, and then I go over top of it again with a lighter blue, which is the Caldor Sky. Give you that kind of a lighter blue color, bring all that out so you can see the details of the models, kind of like a dry brush, almost like more of a wet dry brush over top of them, so you can bring out details. And then after I get done with that, I'll move on to Lothran, some Lothran blue. That will be their pants. So it was Caldor Sky is their tunics, Lothran Blue is their pants, and the base coat was Cantor Blue. So that's the paints I have available. So that's what I've been using. Just keep it consistent across the board for all of the different models I've been doing. And once I get done with that, then it's work on, who is it? The rifles will be Doom Bull Brown for the stocks. And then I got to put some lead belcher for the rifles themselves, the metal on the rifles. Then, what else we got going on here? Oh, we'll finish up all the some of them have backpacks and stuff, and then obviously you got the ammo pouches and all that fun gear on board. That will be covered in Abaddon black, and then I'll do a light dry brush over that with some ashen gray. Where is that? There we go, ashen gray. So then you can see the brings out the black a little bit, so you got some edge highlighting basically going on. You can see you got all the stuff that's on these things. There's a lot of stuff. And then obviously then there's going to be the canteens, a little bit of gray. They got some of them are carrying around what was it up here at the top? It's like blankets and all that. You got to go through and pick all the blankets out with a kind of a gray color, which is usually Dawn. I think it's Dawnstone they use. I think it's Dawnstone. Administrative gray. There you go. Go with that. And then after it's all said and done, then I'll put washes on them to kind of darken them up a little bit and cover up the, because it's kind of a dark mahogany, the rifles would be. So after you put on a wash of a Reichland flesh over the rifles, and it darkens them up. It's kind of like a dark mahogany color. So they look pretty good. And then obviously we got all the different command stands that will need flags put on them. So you have a U.S. flag. This is going to have to be painted up. Here's the eagle that's at the top. That'll be brass. And then you put American flag, and they got another standard here that would be like a state flag to go there. So there'll be a little bit of everything to go with them. And this will finish up the last of my regular infantry. And after that, it will be nothing but the cavalry. And maybe by the time I get done with this, hopefully in June, they'll have a sale on Old Glory 15s. This is what they are. Old Glory 15s. Right there. So oldglory15s.com. If you want to look at it, there you go. How you get to find them if you want to ever get into 15 mil stuff. Well, that's the goal. Is I'm going to pick up some more cavalry, some more artillery, and probably a couple more packs, maybe 3 more packs of infantry to add to the mix. Because one pack will give you roughly, I think, 16 stands, and I need 200 stands. This will put me, I think it's roughly around 150 stands. And a good sized game will run you around 200 to 225, I think it is. So that's the goal, is to fight a big giant battle like Chancellorsville or Gettysburg, something of that nature. Well, I'll have to go through and fire and adjust to how many more packets I'll need to get to fill out my army to the Union size that I want. So there you go. That's everything. So I do have a few other things on the other table I want to show off, so I'm going to have to go over there and with that. So there, we'll be right back. All right, here we go. This is the Eagles from the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game. There's, 4 boxes of them here. Each box contains 2 eagles. You can see there, that's the main box. So we have 8 of them, enough to, I think it's roughly about 900 points, somewhere in there, of eagles on the board here. As you can see, they're just different kind of looks to them. Kind of a two-tone in some of them. Went with like a gold eagle look for them. And interesting thing is that they're magnetized. They got on the top of the flight stand is an eagle or a magnet, and you can see the magnet in the bottom of them. You just rotate that on there, and there you go. So the little peg and stem system that they have, my experience is that it doesn't really work. So we decided to go with magnets to hold them on, and they rotate nice, and you can lift up the base, kind of turn it. It still works fairly decent. It's kind of heavy now that they got all the stuff on it, but it still hangs on there pretty decently. So I got that one, and then we have this guy. You can see it's still like the gold eagle kind of look, kind of a two-tone look to him, and it's, magnetized there. And then we got this one. This one is a little bit different, coloring. Tried to go with a little bit of difference in every one of them, so just make them a little different for the models, just to make them stand out a little bit more, like family units of them. I really like this one. This is really good looking. Kind of like that one there. Oops, stuck to the table. There. Oh, there. And then we got this one. This is still another kind of a two-tone look to it. You can see a little dark on the front of the wings, a little lighter on the back side of it. And this one, a little heavy, but still I even put a rock on it, and the magnets hold pretty decently, and they rotate. So it's a nice little system. And I tried to kind of angle some of the magnets so when they sit on there, they look kind of like a slight difference in looks. It's kind of angled a little bit. And then they have what they call fledglings in the game system, which are the younger eagles that are the young ones coming out of the nest. So I've painted a few of them that are a little lighter color to make them look like they're, you know, still got kind of the downy look to them for their feathers. So got that look going for them. Oh, there. I don't know why that one doesn't want to stay on its base too much. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Get it on backwards. There. There. We got that one. And another one that's kind of a slightly older fledgling. You see its colors of its feathers are slowly converting over to the browns. So they're going from a downy white to brown, but you can tell that it's more of a fledgling look to it for that one. So it can be used as a fledgling or just as a regular eagle. And the fledglings don't have quite they're like one less number on their stats and stuff. And then we got these two. These are slight change in the bases. I wanted to have a different look for bases, you know, kind of like rock outcrop. You know, in all the movies and stuff, the eagles come from the mountainous areas. This is still the two-tone look of the eagle. Right there, the dark brown. If I do some more, I might go and try to do like the Fisher eagles, like the bald eagle, you know, that type of thing. So pretty decent. And then we got one more over here. This is another fledgling. So they stay on the base pretty decently. That one's pretty strong. And then, so you can tell. Basically, I did this with, I think a Xandri dust was the color, and then I dry brushed bone white, Ushopti white. I think it was something like that. Over bone white, I think it was Ushopti was the base, and bone white, and then put a wash over it of one of the lighter brown GW washes. Can't remember at the moment what it is. Well, it's these others. Reichland Flesh Shade is the darkers. So basically what you see in like these colors, the lighter color, and I took Reichland Flesh Shade and gave them a couple washes over top of that to darken it up into that nice rich reddish brown. It's gosh, can't remember what it is at the moment, but that's the lighter brown. I thought about going with a darker, like the Reichland Flesh Shade, maybe on the very tips right here of them and the very front, to give them kind of a little, it's like it's slowly coming in with the darker ones, but I decided not to. I'll go that route. So that's the eagles, all 8 of them. So if the game ever needs a few more, then we'll go that route and maybe add another box or two of them. So typically right now we've been playing only 700-point games, and roughly 6 eagles is enough for a 700-point game. And they're pretty much, if I remember the stats, are like taking on ogres but with better stats. So 8 of them on the table would be a kind of a bad deal to have to worry about. So that's those right there. That's all the eagles from Lord of the Rings. Alright, hope you guys like those. Alright, I'll Greg's up. Here we go. We got a little bit more stuff that's finished from the painting table. We have some 15 mil American troops, Union, from the American Civil War. These are Old Glory 15s. So basically I have 30 stands sitting here and roughly 27 stands of infantry and 3 command that I've finished up here just recently. As you can see, they're not too bad. Easy troops to paint, fairly easy. A little bit different stands. Some of these guys here are kneeling and firing as they're in action, laying down a barrage. You got some reloading here, and these guys are already marching forward. So your basic troopers from the Union, all their glory. So it's kind of hard, and some of them, you can see they got mustaches and everything. I went through and I picked out some of that stuff on them, flesh tones and all that. So these are regular infantry. The last batch I think I shared with you were the Iron Brigade, which was Wisconsin, I think Illinois, Indiana, maybe it went Ohio. There's a bunch of units that were part of the Iron Brigade that they put together that formed that brigade. And this is going to be for Fire and Fury, regimental Fire and Fury. So nice little set of rules. I played them back in the 90s, and this is the second edition of them. So the second edition is Brigade Fire and Fury and Regimental Fire and Fury. So they broke the rule set and split it into 2 different sets, basically. Use the same footprint, so if you want to, you can take these infantry and play at brigade level if you want to. And these are red. So each one of these is supposed to represent a regiment, complete unit. And the other one, this would be a brigade. So, and the rules set, you look in here, and you look at it, it tells you, it's like, let's see if that's fine. This is the battle. Here's a Union force right here. You can see, like, this is the 47th New York veteran troops. There's 14 stands. These are all under command of Barton. So you're going to have a able commander. So he'll be one man on horse. That would be your commander, and then they're broke down into their different units. So you got the 47th, the 48th, the 115th New York, 14 stands trained. You got 10 stands veterans. So your number of stands you have kind of varies, and then you have a section of artillery, another section of artillery, another all veteran howitzers for the game. Section A, B, and so all set up and ready to go. So, and then if you look down farther, you have the 7th Connecticut, New Hampshire, a couple New Hampshire, and then that should be the 8th, I think it is, Kentucky, or Connecticut. What did I say, Kentucky? And then you have an able commander, looks like Fribley, something like that, brave colonel. So every once in a while you'll have something to say, somebody's commanded by, they have a brave colonel in their unit, so it gives them a little bonus when it comes to certain actions. And then Montgomery's like green troops. Colored troops, you got 12 North Carolina, and then you have the 54th Massachusetts veterans. You got 12 stands right there. So, and then you got some cavalry here, and it looks like horse-drawn artillery, and more mounted infantry. So that gives you all kinds of. Let's see, Seymour. There's Henry. Okay. There's Seymour right there. And then you have Light Brigade under Henry. Well, there. This gives you an idea what you're looking at. But there we go. That is pretty much roughly 3 regiments. And if you look at the over here to do Barton's unit, there's 14, 24, 38. So I need 38 stands plus 3 artillery stands. So in this case, I would need a few more stands to add into. It's like one would need 14, another one is perfect at 10, and another. So 2 of them would need 4 more stands added to them. It's like, and right now I'm working on over at the table. Yeah, I showed you there are bunches of stands extra that I'm working on. So those would be the fillers that you need to one way or the other. So that's pretty much how it's working out. Eventually, though, I'm waiting for the next time Old Glory has a discount sale going on in their Civil War troopers. For all these stands, I will buy probably 4 more packs. I need to get some more cavalry. I don't have enough cavalry stands, to be honest. I'm just looking at this one. There's 10, 16. I need 16, and I only have, I think, 10 stands. So definitely need another pack or 2 of cavalry with horse holders, that kind of thing, to set them up for, different scenarios that may pop up. So my goal is to look at the largest battle possible and at least have all the pieces necessary to fill it out. Now, it's been pointed out, one sad thing is that with the Fire and Fury rules, there's only 3 figures on a stand. So you get your musician, you get your banner, and a commander. And most units had a U.S. flag and a state flag to go with them. So don't have that. So basically, you're just going around with just a U.S. flag with these. I do have some, like handful that are got the state flags, and maybe it's like have one stand would be the state flag, and the other one, so it is count as. But the one with the U.S. flag would be your main HQ unit command stand for the unit. So go that route. So that's pretty much it. I do have to get a bunch more, so probably 4 more marching packs, kind of like these over here, where you got the marching forward with the bayonets forward, and then they'll also have about half and half. Is like half have them on the shoulder, and then half are going to be on, the bayonet on the forwards on the front. They're going in. So just have to slowly work on them. That's my goal for the year. So eventually, hopefully by December, I will have about 200 stands worth of troops ready to go for battle. If I can play something like Gettysburg or Chancellorsville or something of that nature. So, alright, so that's the American Civil War troopers that are on the table. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed that little aspect. So what we'll do is make sure you come by on Thursday night for the show, for the Musty Wargamers show, which I think to watch everything. So we got a couple topics. If you want to join in to the chat room, go ahead. If you can't, go ahead and watch it later and leave comments if you want. All right, so hopefully we'll see you in the next live stream. All right, Hellcracks out.